Okay, we're back. I'm at my cutting table. Now what I've done is I've used what they call a Tri-Rex ruler. If I can find it, I've probably buried it under everything. There it is. Okay, so that's it there. I do stock these. They can be quite expensive depending on where you get them from, but they're a great ruler for doing certain types of borders and things like that. I use them in, I think it's the Storm by Sea, and also Straight Around the Bend, use these as well. So I'm going to put my gloves back on because they keep my hands warm even though I'm not actually sewing at the moment. Now these triangles, I've cut more strip. Well, I'm going to use some more strips. I'm going to use some more of these 1-inch strips. So these triangles have like a flat edge on the top here. So g'day Pat, how you going? So on the triangles they're flat. So I've chosen purple and pink only because that's what's in the actual piece. Not really my colours, but you know, if they suit the quilt, then they suit the quilt. So first things first was I sort of thought, well, what size am I going to go? And I don't know whether this is going to work. It's called a Tri-Rex ruler, T-R-I, Rex ruler. I do have them. I think they're about $30 something for a set. Hang on. Yeah, I've got them. They come like that. G'day Joan, how you going? So the Tri-Rex rulers, they come in a set of 2. So you get the one for the corner if you want it, and then also this one. So they, that's how I did the flying geese sort of look in well, not the flying, oh no, it wasn't the flying geese, it was just a corner piece in the Straight Around the Bend. Yeah, sure, they're 38 a pack. I'll just, again, chuck it in the message just so I know, and I don't forget, because, g'day Stella, they're a brilliant ruler. I've used them many a times. You know, sometimes you buy rulers and you never ever use them again. Well, these ones I've used over and over. They also have on them, and you can see mine's well worn because all the writing and everything is all fading. So they have your 1 inch, your 1.5, 2 inch, 2.5, and all that sort of thing. They have the lines down there. So you basically grab. I'll just pop these out of the way. You get your. I decided 5 inches. So I cut strips of 5 inches. I'm just trying to put it in where you can see it. There it is. Then I get the ruler, and the first thing you do is you place it on the 5-inch line, which is the bottom line, and then make sure that top little flat bit is actually at the top of the fabric. You slide it along. If you've got, because I've already cut some, you'll have a straight edge, you cut that off first. So once you've got that straight, then you can cut that there. Now, if you don't cut straight through, like sometimes I've noticed that we used it for Straight Around the Bend. Yeah, exactly. If you don't cut right through, like I haven't there, don't be tempted to do these ones. Just grab your scissors and just give it a trim. Otherwise, it looks like you've done the pizza cutter thing. Okay, just give it a quick trim. All right, so I've just cut a few of them and I sort of laid them out. And again, like I said, this is going to be a guessing game the whole way through. It might not work completely and I might have to go for a plan 2, but this is a good way to show you how to use this ruler. I'm also going to add some borders in between them. So I thought I'd keep using these 1-inch strips, and I'll probably have to cut some more, and I'm going to lay them down the sides of them. Now, to figure out which side I'm laying them on, what I did was, now making sure that flat edge is up the top, I laid out like 3 or 4 of them, and I placed the flat edge of the other one down the bottom like that, so they're all in a row. So it goes like that, like that, like that, and you just keep going along. It sort of looks yeah, that's all right, Pat, no dramas. So it sort of looks like a chevron, okay? But what I thought I would do was, because this will actually end up being a point here and here, was I thought I would actually put a border in between each one, like that. So it would have those in between, which would blend in and join up to the border of the actual quilt. So here I am using some leftovers of this and just going to cut some more 1-inch strips. So I sort of laid them out and thought, yep, that'll look cool. I reckon that'll look really good, and we'll do those in between. Now I have to figure out which side I'm actually doing them on, because I don't want to do them on both on the same side. Although I can't flip them around. And one thing you got to watch with this is that if you are cutting fabric that is one-sided, like normal fabrics that you buy, cotton fabrics you buy, not batik, you have a right and a wrong side. So you just must mention that if you have your fabric folded over like I have here, you need to have them right sides together, not wrong sides together, okay? So once you've cut off your little excess bit, now I could use that excess bit if I wanted to, but I will lose a bit of the point, because in the actual pack you'll see this one here, it has a flat edge and a little tick out of that corner, and that's there for a reason, and we use those, okay? So I'm not going to use that, but I am going to work out which side I'm going to put these on. So just spreading them out a little, making sure the flat edge is facing up and down. I don't want to have it that way around because it'll be the wrong shape. So that way, and I might need one more just looking at it. So one more over there. I sort of just put the quilt up to it and sort of went, yeah, that looks around about roughly right. We'll just trim off what we don't want to use. so I know I need, on the purple, I need to be having them on this side, okay? Because I'm probably going to cut that off there, yeah? So it's going to be this side joining this one. So the right-hand side of it. So I grab the right-hand side and I place it up that way on my strip. So I know, and normally I would pin them together and go, that's the side I'm going to do. Okay, so then I get my other one, my other strip. I go, well, I know I've done the left-hand side of it, so I also need to do the right-hand side of this one. So I place them in the position. This one probably won't need it, so I'll leave this one out for now. I can always come back and put it on if I need it. So I place them in the position they're going to be when I take them to the sewing machine. So I hope that sort of makes sense. So I'm going to take them over to the sewing machine, and I'll move the camera. Come with me. Okay. All right, I'll pop the charger on. Otherwise we go flat. And in you go. Come on, little Buddha. Oops. Let's go. Let's move it over here. I've still got the walking foot on. I'm not sure how it's going to go with these thinner fabrics without the stabilizer in between, but we'll soon find out. So I'm picking up the first lot, which is the pink one that I had on top, and I'm going to take off that one, and I'm placing it down exactly how I picked it up, so I know that it's still going to do that side. I always make sure that I go over the edge there so I can trim it off. You want to make sure you go over. So I'll go right over the edge. So when I fold out, okay, I cut across. So give it a good 1/2 inch to 1 inch over the edge, okay? Being a triangle type shape, you also have the stretch issue. So be very, very wary of pulling and grabbing and twisting that fabric. So nice soft lay down, just support it as it goes through. I'm using the same sort of seam as what I had in the other, because I don't have my 1/4 inch foot, so I'm guessing. Now I'm going to keep coming up to the top and go past it. Next I pick up my second one, sorry, the rings are in the way, and I lay it straight under the exact same way. I give it a good inch gap in between and just keep stitching, making sure I grab that fabric as it feeds through. Sometimes it gets a bit wobbly, you've just got to either stop or reposition. So I always stop and start. I do a lot of it. So I want to make sure that my fabric hasn't moved underneath either. All right, and then just cut off. Okay, I'm going to pop that aside and I'm going to do the purple ones the exact same way. So taking them one at a time, leaving them in the same position they would have been when I had them on the extra bit of fabric. So this is what they call chain piecing. So if you haven't done chain piecing before, this is what they call it. It's designed just to keep you moving along. It's quite easy. Once you get past a certain point with one piece, like this, I'm going to give it a fair distance because I want it to be a good inch. Put that there. Then you get the next one, lift up, pop it under, and feed it in straight. And you can see I'm not pulling or pushing, I'm just supporting. I'm letting the walking foot do its thing. Alright. So I'm not going to have enough to do another one, so I just realised your machine is the opposite of mine for sewing. My motor and buttons on the right. No, it's because I'm in selfie mode. It's all on my right hand side, but because we're in selfie mode, it's all in reverse. I'm sewing left-handed. It's weird, hey? Because I'm on the phone. But it looks weird. So I'm just cutting another 1-inch strip. And I've got the cord under there thing. I'll just cut that off and lift, throw this one back up, put it a good 1/2 inch or more away. I go for 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I'd rather, like I say, waste a tiny little bit of fabric than be unpicking, because reverse sewing is not my favourite chore. And it is a chore. So no stretching, no pulling, just support. Easy to see what's happening though. Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. When I do it the other way, it tends to, I can't get close enough, and you get that glare. So I'm just going to cut that one off because I'm only going to need these for the time being. So I'm going to take it back over the table and I'm going to show you how I fold that back and trim it. Oopsie daisy, can't have much easier to see what's happening here. All right. Okay, left-handed machine, it would save my life. Hey, I got a left-handed pair of scissors the other day from Statewide that I'll be putting up to sale. I think I've only got 1 or 2 pairs, but anyway, I'll show you them when they come up. I think we're on an angle. I'll try and straighten it up. There we go. Okay, so before I actually cut them apart, my first thing is to fold that over, just like that, on my little roller doodah, and just give those. Now remembering this is on a bias, so please don't pull, just gently roll out that seam a bit and go past there, and then go to the next one. Again, roll up. Oops, a daisy, bit of a crease, the wrong spot. So this is the finger press little tool, great little tool. And I have a feeling because my seam is not an exact 1/4 inch, I could lose my points, which, you know, don't care if I do, but, you know, it'll be a pointless quilt, won't it? Now, I mean, in order to see those like you, I would be sitting on the other side of the machine. Absolutely, yeah. A left-handed person needs to sit opposite a right-handed person to see it in the view that they need to do it at. So this works really well for those who are left-handed. Alrighty. Now the temptation is to cut straight across, correct? Wrong. So what you want to do, and I'm just going to use the little ruler that I had because it's got the right angle, is I'm going to place the ruler back on top and I'm literally going to cut on the angles that they were meant to be in. Yeah? So it's going to be like that. There's my little top part. There it is, the flat one. Flat one. So I'm sitting and doing this, which is not easy. And then I'm going to go like that. Okay, so don't cut them straight across. Keep it going in the angle it's going at, okay? That's how my Nana taught me. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to sit opposite someone who's a left-hander to teach them. I used to do that when I did floristry. Used to teach a girl, the girl was left-handed, and I used to teach her, she used to stand opposite me. Like that. And that. Sometimes I'd turn around for her so that she could, I'd stand with my back to her and she'd stand there looking over my shoulder. Be funny. Oh, I just missed that little, I put an extra crease in which didn't need to be there. So again, just lining up that ruler. And I know that I'm going to end up cutting this off later, but I just don't want to have an issue with it later. I want it to, I'd rather, like I say, trim off that little bit than have not enough. So you could do this with your, you know, your cutter mat sitting next to you and all that jazz. You don't have to be up and down. And because you're not ironing all the time, then, you know, you're not having to go to an ironing table. It's a bit far away from me. So pop that up there. And you'll see with this one, there's like a little bit of a hitch. Now I know, yeah, exactly, yeah. I have a lot of flower patterns because I used to be a florist. Looks like a bunting, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought that when I first did it. Okay, so that's how we do those. Then what I do is I simply go back, find the top part of each one, like that, and like that, and oh, that one goes that side. And that one will be there. Sorry, doing things back to front here. There, literally. There we go, and there and there. So if you notice, I haven't done the other side of these two because I don't think I need to. So I'm going to now add these on. Now, if you notice, it's way over here on this like, I'll show you. See how it's way over? So I could end up, because my seam is not quite the 1/4 inch, I could end up with a tiny gap there. So I'm going to grab this one, lay it over like that. Oops-a-days. And I'm going to just familiarize myself with it. So I know that when I sew it, it's going to sew in the right spot. So yeah, it's going to be like that. Okay, so I will endeavour. I've got those two, they're not joining. I've got about a 1/4 inch further, and then that one about there. So like I say, this is all learn as you go. So I'm going shopping for a new machine that does free motion because my other one died. I need it for workshop because I don't take my embroidery machine out. No, yeah, they're too heavy. So one is overlapping the other, and there's like, I've gone a 1/4 inch higher on one end, and on this end you can see the other one is going to be a 1/4 inch higher than that. Yeah. Yeah, most people have a smaller machine to take to workshops. It's much, much more pleasant. All right, so what I'm going to do is just quickly sew this one together. Try not to overly stretch those seams. If I'm going to pull on anything, I'll pull on the border fabric, not the actual triangle. So this is a point where if you're unsure of what you're up to, this is where you would pin it. Okay, so I'm going to sew from there to there. I'm going to come back and I'll show you the next step. So bear with me while I do that. So as I'm sewing together, I'm just doing a little bit at a time. I'll see what happens when I open them out. Oh, nice points there. So, look, I have a point. Woohoo! No, that's all right. Yeah, I would pin it because I would lose it. Yeah, anyone have a favourite? I only buy from a dealer's. Me too, Gidget. Workshop one. How big a throat, love? You just want small? Because the Janome 6050 DC 6050 is quite a good little one. It's got cut off and everything. Cut off and stop-start button like I use. So I'm hoping, because there's a bit of a gap there, but that's because I've added, and there's going to be, because I've added this border on. So they won't sit exact, yeah? You're a faff girl. What am I doing here? lost me spot. So again, I'm going to sew this, looking at it parallel. I'm going to flip that one over, making sure the bottom point, don't have your point, this point here, the purple one, don't have that level with this back one, this one it's laying on. All right, don't be tempted to have it down here, level with that seam. You need to have it a 1/4 inch up because we're working with triangles, okay? And I'm going to say that one, regular sewing, I have a Q20 for the other stuff. Yeah, look, the Janome DC 6050 is small. It's got the small throat and everything, but really good just for piecing. Retailing here about $7.49, but over there they wouldn't be anywhere near that much. Janome dealer, so DC 6050, bloody great machine. and comes with a little table. What else has it got? Oh, it also comes with a free motion quilting foot if you want, and a walking foot as well. Oh no, 1/4 inch foot, sorry, and a walking foot as well. So, because your free motion foot you don't need. So, I'll sew this one together and see how we go. Or there's the other one, which is even smaller. What was that one called? Oh, that's the 2030, but that's smaller again. Yeah, Pat, there's nothing wrong with that. A basic machine, they're good to have. So let's hope this one worked. Just bring it over here. Okay, so we'll just finger press that down just gently. I don't want to stretch any seams. Just give it a little bit of a roll. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. Perfect. That's what I want. Nice. It's starting to happen. It's going to look like a chevron. So now I'll take you back over the machine. It looks like it's going to work so far. So fingers crossed, we will go to the next step. Me too, like Janome just bought the, yeah, you did. My daughter has one, and she's used it like 3 times. That's why I haven't actually bought myself another sewing machine for workshops, because I'm going to pinch that one because she doesn't use it. And it's a brand new bloody machine. I can't believe it. She doesn't sew. She will one day. And, yeah, kitchen. No, some people either have a favourite or you don't. Nothing wrong with either. Some people are Benina, some are Brother, some are Janome, and either way, you like what you like. My mum's a Faf girl and a Janome girl. She's had both and likes both. She had a Janome for years and years and years, and when it died, well, it didn't die. It's just it doesn't do any kind of free motion quilting or, you know, heavy duty stuff very much. So it's just sort of had its day. It's about 35-40 years old. So, all right, so if you notice that I'm just slowly lifting and moving that seam as I go, letting that foot do its why would she sew her mum? Yeah, I can do everything, yeah. I'm like Toyota, I had it since 1974 to 77. Look, you know what? Back then, the Toyota would have been good. But now, oh, Julie, these are my quilting gloves. If you're wanting a pair of these, just send me a message. They're $36 a pair, and they are my best friend. You ask the girls. Some of them have just received theirs on here. Mine a lot older, Julie, no free motion hair. And the girls will tell you honestly whether they like them or not, and I haven't even paid them. $1,600, there's a new equivalent. What is the new equivalent? Yeah, there is that's a straight seam. There is a new one. Let me have a look. I've got the brochure. Hang on. Oh. There's a new equivalent to straight stitch one. I had 7 Husqvarna machines, but I lost faith in them, sold some, and one died. Same here, Pat, so updated a while ago. Okay, so the HD9 Professional. These gloves are amazing. I love these gloves. I don't think so. Pop-up shop had a much smaller machine. The DC 6050 is larger. Yes. This is larger than the one I had before. Yes. So there's the 6050, DC 6050 is larger than the 2030 that I showed you the other week. Now, the straight sewing machine, which is like your 1600p, is called a HD9 Professional. So it's a straight one, like a single straight stitch only flatbed machine. It's perfect for straight sewing and quilting, and it can do up to 1600 stitches per minute. It's a heavy duty seamless metal work area. So there's no, this doesn't pop out at all. It's just flat out full on metal. Okay, they retail at $2,300 and they've got them on sale. It's got a 9-inch throat at $2,000. Oh, it's all back to front, so you can't read it. Trust me, it's there. So who was the one who asked me that before? Debbie. Okay, so Debbie, that's what they are. They're called a HD9 Professional, and absolutely worth their weight in gold. So if you're interested in one of those, let me know, because I might be able to even get them to throw something in. It's I've got a little bit of pull when it comes to getting sewing machines. So yeah, so, and I don't get any kickback. They just look after me, you know, when I need something as such. But they always have, whether I sell sewing machines or not, they always do. Really good company, actually, great people. So that's what that is. It's a HD9 Professional. Okay. All right. So back to it. Where am I up to now? So I have done, what have I got? I've got 2 more to go. So this one, got to make sure it's up in the right direction. And that is my flat end. Yes. So I'm just making sure that I'm in the right direction. I have that little tag at the end going past the edge of the fabric from the one I'm sewing to. I must admit though, Regina, I find that the Genomes, and especially in Genome in America, they're full on with the support, but they also they're just such a stocky machine. They really last well. I've still got my first sewing machine ever bought for me by my mum, and that's like 35 years old. I'll bring it out one day and show you. I don't think it does reverse anymore, but everything else on it works fine. All right, so the last one I'm going to pop on is this one. I'm going to make sure it's facing the right way, and that means that I have there. Yeah, Debbie, I can actually probably get some stuff thrown in for you if you're really interested in upgrading. No dramas whatsoever. So this one is going to go on here like that. Gee, I hope I've got this in the right section. There it is. Does it look right? Yeah, no, I do need to push a thing on the end of this one, so I'm just going to do that right now with one of my scrap bits, because of the end bit needs to have fabric on it, so I'm going to actually put that on there, just looking at it. So once I finish all these videos, I'll just pop them up on YouTube just the way they are, so you can fast forward or whatever, or see all the comments as they come. I used to have a 1600p when I had, before I had my long arm, I used to use that for free motion quilting. They're a brilliant machine and they're so sturdy. If Ione's still watching, that's like the one she's got. And they really stitch well. As far as a straight stitching machine, like a one stitch, they are amazing, amazing machines. So I'm just going to fold that over, and I know I need to trim off, but I'm just going to do that there for now, and come back to it when I need to. Okay, that looks better. So I'm putting this a 1/4 inch on this end past that previous one I'm sewing it to, the bottom one, and I am just laying it down on top. A little bit of chicken scratching, but nothing major. And you can see I've used that same needle the whole way today. I've used the 70 mil, which is the small thin needle. So as far as piecing is concerned, beautiful. Well, you got to watch, see how it's starting to do that. I've got to watch that I don't pull on it because it's on a bias. So I'm just going to stitch right past the end and cut off. I also haven't changed my thread from that other stuff either. There we are. It's a little bit high, that one, but I don't think it's going to matter in the scheme of things because I'm probably going to cut through it. So, and I'm wondering whether I should have one on there. Might do that because of that edge. Just chuck one on there. Look, it doesn't hurt. If I cut it off, I can always unpick it if I don't want it there. Not that I like unpicking. So I'm just going to come across here and da-da-da, foot down, needle down, pick up and maneuver. Now, if you have and are working on a lot of bias fabric, my best and only suggestion to you to stop it from really, really stretching, especially if it's a really fine, thin fabric, is to starch it. Starch. I had it set up on my quilting frame. Yeah, so that's what this one's designed for as well. That's what I had. I had an old, what do they call it, grace frame. Can you let us brain fog people know what size needle for what work and cotton, please? Yeah, so this is a 70 mil needle. Then lately she's been sewing bags. Yeah, oh, they're an industrial machine, Debbie. They're semi-industrial. They are heavy duty machines, and they will go and sew through anything, even those you know, big like leather and things like that. That's what they're designed to do, all the heavy duty stuff. The 70, 80 and 90, 70 and 80 I normally piece with, 70, 80, sometimes a 90. I will always quilt with a 90 or a 100. Where's my little thing on? I think I threw it in here. Or 110. 100 or 110. What is it? 100 on the sit down machine. So I'll do that. And I always use Top Stitch by Superior because they're titanium. But you can quilt in this needle. It's just that you're going to need a really fine thread and something really durable. And if the more you pull and shove on your fabric, you know, this around, higher chance it's going to snap because it's quite bendy. You can see it bends. Whereas a needle that is like a 16, which is 100, has got no bend in it at all. It's really, really fine. Thick, yeah. Wrote on my needle pack I got off her, and I can't remember what. I've actually got a really, really good screenshot of something. I might put that up on the thing today, something that you can save in the files, because it sort of explains a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to go and I'm going to have a look at how I'm going to join this to the bottom of my panel. So let's take you over here. Again, I have to unplug you. Oops, days. Oh, nearly lost it. Pulling over the cords. Ouch, that was my knee. Just pop you, just remove stuff. That's all right, guys. I will try and figure out getting a file on. I might even be able to get it in notes. Okay, so I'm just going to finger press those two seams I didn't get a chance to do before, and by that I mean with my ruler. finally keeping one. I love it. Because every time I demo one, I end up selling them, and then I don't have one. But this, I've thrown the packaging away. It's mine. My party. Alrighty. That would be wonderful because it's something we were never taught in class. Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't be taught that, especially in a workshop. They'd be too busy trying to teach you how to do a quilt. So I can make a decision how I want this to go. So I'm looking at it and I'm laying it down, and I'm thinking that I'm going to somehow center that on there. So I'm just going to lay it flat here. I'm not stretching because I am not in the stretching. I'm going to come up so that that lays not on the point. I might go over to the point. Let's see if I can get the point there. This could be pure luck. And the point will come close here. So Superior Threads website has a needle guide you could download at one time. That's a great idea. Thanks, Regina. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. So now I've got to decide whether I want my purple to it or whether I want the pink. What do you reckon? Pink or purple? I reckon the purple. Don't know. You let me know what you think. Purple to the thing or pink? The hot pink. What do you reckon? Purple? Okay, cool. Purple's a good choice too. Okay. Pink? One of each. Purple, purple. Purple's got the vote by the looks. All right. What I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to cut one side, just one. No, Regina said pink. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. See? If you, pink and a purple, if you were to do one of these yourself, why not do one border purple together that way, then the pink, then the purple, and then the pink? I mean, why not have the best of both worlds? No right and wrong in it. So first things first, I'm going to find my straight seam, and I am going to do the horrible, horrible thing of cutting through that. Now, I won't use that one because I have no straight edge as such. It's a triangle. So, can you hear that rain? She's coming down. So I'm using this on a straight line here on my ruler. I want the blade to go right through. Sorry, you can't see. Hang on, let me move it back. There you go. I want the blade to come straight through. Yeah, I'll cut it first and I'll have another look at it. It's instinct to do purple, but when I flipped it to the pink, I thought it looked all right. So I'm cutting. I want that to go right through that point, and I'm also having it straight line across here. Hold it nice and firm and trim that off. Scary, hey? Yeah, Pat, I tell you what, it's pretty full on here. Alrighty, now I'm going to get back to my little piece here and just double check. I don't know, I reckon I might go with a pink. Alright, anyway, get back to it. I'm looking at it going, it needs to come across to the edge there. So, best bet for me to do is to grab my ruler Yeah, I'm just reading Karen's. So that reads to me at 13 3/4 inches. So let's do the sensible thing and measure this at 13 3/4 inches using that straight edge I just cut. I'm going to trim off those little ear tags, those things, they're going, okay? And I'm just going to go across here, and then I can see here, that's where I've got a trim. Now be careful. Debbie says purple. Okay, dark to light. Yeah, it's gorgeous, thank you. Now be careful with the ruler. You see then I just almost stretched it. Try not to stretch. All right, so lining it up, this one end, with a line on your ruler, because you know that you've just cut a straight edge. And lining up this side, we're going to cut those little excess bits off and any part that might have been stretched, so that it's now nice and flat. Sort of reminds me of a American Indian sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to surprise you and just sew it together. You ready? Okay, I'm going to sew it together. Oh, you're going to see the back of my head if I don't move this over. Coming over here. See, I think if I do it the way with pink towards it, I think the purple will act like another border. That's my theory. So I've squared it off. So now my job is to basically sew it down. I have not pulled out the iron once. So when you guys get your panel and you do your project, you'll be able to do purple. I'm just going to turn that under, and if you notice, when I'm sewing, even if I'm piecing, I actually do not lift my hands off the project until that needle is in the down position. Have you noticed that? Jodie agrees with me. I think if you think about it, that purple will act as another border. So I'm just holding it nice and firm. I'm still not pushing, and I'm keeping all my seams in the right direction. And I'm not stretching, I'm just holding, okay? So there's none of this stuff going on, I'm just holding it still. Just moving it a little bit so it lines up. Works for you. You never know, Regina, this might be coming in the mail to you. Turn it that way. Just going to line up. Now, because this is, you know, off the seat of your pants type stuff, if I need to clean it up at the end, I can, all right? So, and I'm going to have to, because I can see it's gone just past that edge. All right, so, do that. All right. Yeah, I think that was a good choice. All right. So I'm going to bring you back over here, and we're going to just pop here so you can see what I'm doing. I love my finger press, my little roll press, I should say. Wherever I've buried it somewhere. Okay, video's on an angle again. Poor thing. And let's see if we can get it to face down without dropping it. There. Okay. Yes, you like it? All right, coolies. So the temptation is to push from here, flip her over, all right, and don't stretch, no stretchies. Just run that there, just a gentle one, very quickly. Then come over here, and you can see that will just help, because you don't want it sitting underneath. That will just help with this, okay? And no stretching, look. No stretchies. How cool is that? That's way going the right way. No, see that one there's turned over. Where is it? There it is. So we need to turn it back. Otherwise, when I sew it to the next border, it's going to be facing the wrong way. There we go. It's probably flipped back when I've done it from the front. Okay. Stay down, you little bugger. All right. By the way, the back of my quilts never look neat. I may start to worry about accuracy. Yeah, no, I still don't worry about accuracy. This one is definitely just a seat of the pants one. All right, so trimming this up, I'm lining it up with that top seam. It's going to come off that edge, nice and even. Look at that. It's just like I bought one. So there we have that border on there. Now we can do the other side. So we go do the other side and the two side ones. But to do this side, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with that one. To do these ones, I need to work out exactly how that works. Is it lagging, is it? So I will meet you back, whoops a daisy, at around about 4 o'clock or so, and we'll do the rest, hey? And then we might have a bit of a sale, I reckon. See you soon.